Hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Welcome back to Rustoria Base Invaders. Today, we are in the EU six-man's event. Today in the casting booth, I am joined by Kaylee. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Pat. And how are you?
I'm not too bad. Ready to get back into some Rustoria action. Obviously, I was here last week as well to cover the NA event, so I'm glad to be doing the EU and the NA event today. So I have a lot of Rust to be watching and a lot of games to be catching up on.
Sounds good. Let's see how much excitement we get in this attack phase. It is already started.
Yep.
Well, we have 20. How many teams do we have again? It was 24 teams right now. Looking to win today. And right now, as we have below, these guys, they don't look like they're too friendly.
Yeah, they're very close together. All these bases. It's a very close together. Base warfare, 5 bases in that region, which means that it's going to be a lot of PvP going on between the bases, especially the attack phase. But then when the raid phase starts, when teams start to team up on each base and trying to take them down. But no, it's a very close call. It might be a difficulty here for these players to finish their roof defense.
We have Fresh now has taken Heli down. We'll take a look at them in a few minutes. We'll see. It's not just about taking Heli down. You have to get the crates. That's the key. That's how you get the points. But definitely, they're looking at trying to get those early points.
Yeah, it's always useful. And sometimes, you see the team that get the wins at the start, go all the way and come in the top 5. Sometimes they don't do as well. But it's all about the positioning of the landing. If it lands too far away, then you're going to be in a cross battle to win that crate over. But it depends on where it lands. It does seem like it lands fairly.
There, we have names we can see now. Now we know all these people we're talking about. Okay, so this is Fresh. Fresh right now, they're going up against Santa. You have Mango. Mango's a 22-time winner on this team. They know what they're doing. This is a very familiar team. Santa, again, a very popular team. You see them here week in and week out. And right now, it looks like there's a third team. We have Bobsley. Oh, are they on Bobsley's base? What is going on here?
Yeah, it does seem like the heli did get them with a couple of shots, and they are on Bobsley's base. It looks like the compound is open on that northwest side. So yeah, they need to watch out for that because you can't get their base complete. You've got a team like Fresh stood on your roof. You're never going to be able to build those walls. And players like Jelen and Witex, we constantly see week in week out hitting the high kill streaks. Always popping up with a kill streak, whether it's 8, 15, however many kills they get, they're always on that board for their attack. So this is not a good position at the moment for Bobsley, and if they can't manage to get this Fresh team off their ceiling, off their roof, then they may not be able to finish their base in time for raid phase.
You're 100% right. And right now, Fresh looks to be... Oh, I spoke too soon. Not Caster's Curse, right? Poor Mango. Definitely a lot of action. And these poor guys, they must feel awful just being dominated on their own roof.
Yeah, we see it a lot in base invaders. People like to do this in the attack phase, get an early lead, get an early raid if they can, because obviously 40 points, no matter who the players are, no matter if the base is finished or not, is always helpful on your push to success. And looks like Fresh going for the victory today, already in their attack phase, throwing resources for a raid, getting themselves ready to just basically have a simple walk in and walk out job with this base. But we now move on, and now we see Clear.
So Clear, not only are they PvPing, they're desperately trying to finish the shooting floor as they do it. We have Nurik, who's trying. Well, they tried to make an advance. It looks like they're pretty much being put down right outside the base. Again, these bases very close together. We have a big map here, but people kind of tend to be clumped up. Good thing, bad thing. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And I mean, Jamesy there as well, we see him quite often, a player that, I'm especially familiar with. I don't think he's missed an event the last couple of weeks. He's played every one, and he's been a player that surprises a lot. Sometimes makes silly errors, but a lot of the time it's spot on play. And their base, you know, it's looking very nice. They've got a nice roof defense. It looks completed. I'm not sure there's too much work to do with that anymore. Maybe a couple of reinforced metal walls and things to help them defend. But, you know, this team, they have Idle over to the far right. Right in front of them, they have Nuric, a team that we seen last week in the NA event, performed quite well. I think they came second, maybe first in the EU event last week as well. So they are a strong side, Nuric, and they'll be looking to keep their reign going in this event as well.
We Perp Blue and Jamesy also that you were speaking of, they're coming off a win from the EU next week, so I'm sure they're going to try to be repeat offenders here. We got a lot of traffic trying to get between these two bases, but nobody's really getting any success here. If you look at the score counts, though, we got Clear in third. They're in fourth place now. So, and they just seem to be pushing slowly in, trying to gain some ground and some kills.
Yeah. And we've got a very interesting looking base here. One that I haven't actually ever had the pleasure of seeing something look quite like that. It looks slightly like a broken pineapple. Interesting.
So these actually are my friends, my good friends, and I've played with these guys before. So they have one of the best builders in this game. We have a handful of them in here as far as I'm concerned. And this guy, I'm sure inside this is an absolute, you know, so hard to rate inside, but we'll see as this goes on.
Yeah, well, it seems you've played with these guys before. What do we expect to see inside? Is it a game of deal or no deal with many doors, or is it just reinforcement after reinforcement?
So Liam is their builder. Liam he plays this game hard. He builds for one of the biggest teams that play on the main scene. He's a very technical builder. He knows all the strategies. So you're going to see technical things out of him when it comes to base builds. The team that's around him, they're PvPers. They are gunners. So, I mean, it's a very strong team. These guys have won numerous times, 13, 14 times, maybe even higher. But yeah, it's definitely, you'll see some fun out of them.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. The base obviously looks very, very strong as well. So clearly Liam there provides his expertise. And maybe those guys will go all the way. But obviously there's still a long time left to go. And sometimes unfortunate events happen. So it depends on how they play their cards. Looks like Bradley was taken down here by Vika. And no one is around from any other team really to contest that. So it looks like they'll be taking the points there.
This is a strategy they did last week too. I seen them in the EO. They kind of took control of launch, got the crates, got those easy side points.
Yeah, and I mean that's it's always helpful to have, but obviously the raiding and the defending is where most of the points are at. But then again, we say that, and recently a lot of teams have been picking up 200 to 300 kills in the event, which is very, like, it puts the top 5 very, very close together and very high pointed as well. We have seen the points start to increase, and you see that a lot more, especially when there's more players. So 6v6, you'll be seeing pretty high points compared to when we see, you know, 3-mans, because there's more people out there to kill. And if you're a player who can just take down a team that you think is weaker than you, and you can get all those kills, and you can keep killing them whilst you try to raid, you know, that will really boost you up the table.
Exactly. We have a big push here. Lance is trying to get to those crates. V1 is like stuck in. He is stuck in ticket and not able to move. He's being surrounded. So, really good push here in trying to get these crate points.
Yeah, Lions have arrived. They have got the benefit with the numbers. It does seem to be a 3-on-1, although one was taken out before. There is reinforcement coming though for VVVVVVVVVV. They are coming now in numbers. They're starting to rile up, and it looks like it's going to be a battle between Lance and them at the moment. And yet they are starting to come in and clear out Lions. And it does seem like they have won this battle actually.
Not surprising. They are PvP specialists, so good for them.
Yep, it's what we usually love to see from these players. But you know, again, one thing that has surprised me today is a lot of bases in many different parts of the map that are very close together. I mean, RNC are a team that consistently like to build close to other teams, and they like to go for raids quite early on. But lately, they haven't really been performing to the best of their ability. Obviously, their attack phase seems to be their favourite phase, what I've found from them in previous weeks. They love to go out and get kills. But then when the raid phase comes, they tend to get bombarded quite early, meaning that they have to either go for a raid on the team that's raiding them, or they just have to sit back and defend for the whole time. So it's going to be an interesting one to see if they can come back to their recent devastations lately and prove us all wrong.
So if I was Gang and Messi here right now, I would be so worried. You have massive bases on either side of you that kind of stuck you in. Messi looks like they're being dominated right now, or are they? Wait, I might have this confused. Sorry, we have a lot of bases around here. I think they're controlling Messi's. I'm confused. I'm so sorry. So KBX their base is being dominated by two teams here. Messi and RNC are well in, and they cannot even finish their build. Their compound is wide open. The walls aren't done. They're in a heap load of trouble.
Yeah, Messi of the team that have started to pop up more recently. Again, I don't think they've really missed much events. They're here, the NA and EU most weeks, and you start to see them improve and get to the speed of the game. So now RNC have arrived as well, and it looks like it's going to be a three-way crossfire with these three teams: Gang, Messi, and RNC, which is never. I think RNC have had their battles with Messi before, if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be interesting to see who will take it this time in 6-mans. Obviously, with the players changing, one less player, I think, was it 7-mans last week, means that you've got less people to go out and raid with, and the thing that we always talk about in base invaders is the tactics you use. Are you going to send all 6 players out to raid, or are you going to keep one home to make sure you're not getting raided? And that's what teams need to figure out early on. That's what tends to be some teams' downfalls, not getting those tactics spot on.
Yes, and here we have the classic advent calendar base. Tons of doors, tons of options. Where's that TC? Always a guessing game. Fresh right now, clearly in the lead with 45 points. You got Clear close behind, not too far off, followed by RNC. So it's a very tight race between the top 3 right now.
Yeah. That hopefully, well, then again, you never know. Sometimes it remains that close, but sometimes one team runs away with it, and then the only way really to get rid of that team is by raiding them. But often what we find is those teams that run away with it, the raid attempt on that team comes very late on, because they tend to be the dominant force. They tend to be the ones keeping on top of everybody, making sure they're raiding people, making sure they're raiding anybody that could raid them, clearing everybody around them first, and then spreading out a bit further to get some kills, to get more raids, to get more points. It'll be interesting because today as well, we've got a couple of clusters, I'd like to say, of bases. There's a couple of bases, like 3 or 4 next to each other in 3 different places now, I think. And it'll be interesting to see how it actually plays out, which team will be the dominant team out of those clusters.
Yes, you tend to get a lot of confusion. Even as a caster, I'm trying to sort this out. I couldn't imagine being a player on the field and trying to figure out who's who beyond my own team. Clear, again, Jamesy's Purplu's team, they've snuck up. They've now taken this lead ahead of Fresh for the first time in this attack phase. We have KBX now. We're looking at their base, and it looks like they got a little bit of control.
Always good. Always good to have. But here we go again. Idle over there, looking very well. The compound's bizarre shape. It's quite large, but the base is like a pea in a pod, if you will. It looks quite built though. It looks ready to go. Idle have been here up and down each week. Not every event, but they've been coming and performing. Yorick as well last week. They must have finished, I think, second in the EU event, but they were also looking very high up in the NA event. So very interesting to see which of these teams will take the better of each other, because this was actually a battle that happened last time, Idle versus Yorick in the NA event. So it'll be interesting to see which one takes each other out today.
So just as we glance, that Idle base, that is impressive. That is a massive base that they've built behind us. Nurk really seems on the contrary, it seems a tad bit smaller, but this base, this looks like a chunky base that they built.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of hiding places in there. What we tend to see is sometimes teams get lucky, they choose the right position, or sometimes they take an hour and a half to finish a raid. And then it all comes down to the guessing game and the luck sometimes, or just the skill of raiding. If you can do a raid and you can perform it fast, you can have all the boom ready just to take that base down in about half an hour, then you have a chance then to go on and progress further. But if Idle can defend it as well, and they're there, they're causing problems for the raiders, then you never know, they could just survive the whole event with one raid on them.
Nurk pushed out, trying to get out. Oh, and Idle makes quick work of them. They say, no, you need to go back home.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. But I will correct myself. So New York did come second last week in the EU event, just to clarify, and they did come 8th in the NA event. So clearly, EU seems to be their strong point. Maybe a few different players play in EU than they do in NA. So this is New York's strong event. They came second last week. They'll be looking to get first this week. Likewise, James and Purple will look to carry on their reign. But you know they're already pushing in here to Idle. It looks like Idle are going to try and push in there. Freya.
Nurk really cannot leave their gate. They are, the minute they get out and they try to weave through these walls, Idle seems to be finding them and putting them back down.
Yeah, they're held hostage in their own home, really. There, but you know, Idle are just playing it smart. One's got an Exo there, two familiar players just pushing out. You're getting shot there again now from the top of the hill. There, Santa are sending some shots in, it seems, from their roof. And Santa always have very interesting base designs.
My first thought was what you mentioned. I was like, wow, that looks like a prison over there. Like, honestly, that's my thought.
They went with a boat defense, a boat style of base one week. They seem to change it up a little bit. I don't know if they've gone with the same idea. It looks similar, but it looks a slight bit bigger than it was last time.
Okay, this base, listen, this base is amazing. Like, let's just take a minute and to absorb what's happening here. They have really gone outside. This is not your cookie cutter base by any means. I'd be very interested when this thing gets opened up, exactly what's going on in there, because from the outside, it's confusing alone.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what their intentions are, but you know, I've seen them with a base similar before. It was probably half the size, and they did all right. They survived it. Maybe now the idea with doubling the size is if you have more of a base to look at, then less chance to find the TC. Although it does seem like you can just sit on one of the sides there and just go in a straight line through all those doors, but it depends on how the teams prefer their raiding.
Or maybe they're just waiting for the flood. Maybe they know something we don't, but regardless, they are ready to take on a defense.
Yeah, and it's the team we do see. We don't really see. I've not really seen them in previous weeks be more aggressive. The aggressors, it's more the defenders, the Santa. They play with a consistent team. You know, a lot of players are coming back every week. Moore's over there, Mills as well, Milk in the base. So you know they're looking to go and cause some issues there for whoever's base is. Is that
Bedolagi. I was practicing this with our observer before the event because I knew this was going to. I'm the worst caster in names. That is what I'm known for. But they must have built this and then looked up the hill and went, wow, I think we might have done something wrong. We're Ted. They're like a quarter of the size of their friendly neighbor.
Yeah. Now, I'm confused because I did originally think this was Bobsley's base. It might actually be Bobsley's base, and Bedolagi just came round and decided to join in with the fight. It does look like Bobsley. Yeah, it is Bobsley all inside the base. So Bedolagi just came out of nowhere there. It was Fresh originally earlier on, if you remember, sat on that roof, keeping them from building. But now it is two teams, Bedolagi and Fresh. So it's interesting. Early kills always helps the points.
Yes, and we got a lot of kills going on. We got Fresh still in the lead. We got Clear in second. VVV very close behind. RNC and Bob all within, 15, 20 points of each other. So it was very tight with only a few minutes left to go in this attack phase.
Yeah, and of course it is always the raid phase where we start seeing the action really occur. This is just more of a a battle, but this does not seem like a base that will survive very long. It does seem like one of the first raids we might see today. Although, if they can defend it, it seems like they've got some ground back. They just don't have any roof defense. Their base is made out of stone, and it seems like the only thing that isn't made out of stone is just patches on the wall. So it's going to be an interesting one. Maybe that's a tactic to throw their opponent off. Or yeah, we're going to put a stone base so we can just grind out the kills. But you never know with these players.
I mean, are Bobsley and Betolangi, are they looking up the hill going, I hope to sink that battleship? Like, that's what I'd be thinking if it was me. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that's always what teams look to do. In the attack phase, most teams go out and scout, okay, who are we going to start off raiding? And maybe, maybe they're just going to, come out in full force, Fresh or Blargy. Whichever team takes it, though, that's the question. Whether it'll be Fresh with the previous skill they have, obviously Witex and Jelen, who I know familiar with on that team. And they've got some other great players there as well around them to keep going. It looks like there's a patrol helicopter.
Okay, here we have Dodge trying to take down, it looks like, Heli. Not really much around them to even contest this.
Yeah, it just seems to
Oh, and there it goes away. Sorry, my bad.
It was Betolangi who got the actual final takedown. Interesting. We just seen them in a base. Maybe they've gone to their own base. Maybe that's the clue to where they are with the attack heli.
Oh, this is going to be a fight to the finish. So this thing got landed right in the middle of all this craziness that has been going on since the start of this attack phase. So we got Fresh, we got Idle, we got Punk. Maybe Punk's been sniffing around. We have a bunch of teams that are ready to take this crate.
Yeah, that's true. Santa, though, they're the ones making the push at the moment for it. They'll just have to wait for the fire to go down, and they need to defend themselves. So it's interesting to see what they will achieve.
So one thing that's happening here, there's a lot of walls around this, which is, normally when a heli goes down, there's a huge perimeter that they put in, so you cannot wall. So these walls that were already there are going to help somebody in this whole, trying to acquire these crates, because all they got to do is click them. You do not even have to loot them. As long as they touch the crates first, you get the points from them.
Yeah, and it looks like Santa are the ones trying their hardest to take it. They've got two players in there. Fresh are pushing in one. Moors goes down. Fresh are pushing in there over from the left side. Santa now need to be careful. They don't want to be getting any deaths. It looks like Fresh are building themselves a nice little bunker there as well. Getting all the beds down, getting the loot ready. So it does seem like they're going to be going for the helicopter, but then maybe going for a raid on their good friends Bobsley over there.
Fresh is a strong team. They are played this event many times. They know strategically what they're already thinking about the next phase coming out of this one. So, not surprising, a lot of these plays that you see happening. Right now you see them, they know the crate's going to go out soon. They're trying to get closer and closer. Santa's though saying, no, you're not getting it that free. So, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, that is it. And I mean, at the moment, it does seem like it's all going to be Fresh and Santa at the moment for this helicopter. It doesn't seem like any of the teams are getting involved. So it'll be interesting to see. Here you go, Fresh again, taking out Moors for the second time. And Aox as well. Aox taking a fall. It looks like Fresh are maybe taking over this helicopter now. Santa have one player remaining there in that region. I wonder if he can survive it though. Obviously the advantage here for Santa is they have the high ground. They can just shoot off their roof. And that's one thing that they can hold on to. But with all the walls around, it's going to be quite difficult for them to make shots.
I think you're going to see this gentleman here with Santa. I think you're just going to see him make a mad dash. It's going to one life, run out and pray he just gets that click off and dies in the process, because these guys around him, it's wide open. They are going to pick him off most likely.
Yeah, and here he is, just taking a nice little viewing outside the wall there, looking to find a shot. I'm not sure who he's aiming at though. It does seem like he was pointing his guns at Bobsley. But now the backup's coming in for Santa. Betolangi, they're down there. They're waiting to go in for a fight. It seems like they will also be looking to go for a raid on Bobsley. So it'll be Fresh, Betolangi, and Bobsley involved in this three-way fight up that we're about to see as soon as this attack phase falls. I would only imagine anyway.
Yeah, Fresh, this Betalagi team coming from the side really has hurt Fresh's push as far as trying to get up to those crates. Santa, I'm pretty sure they have clicked it or they're about to click those crates. So again, Fresh just a little. Oh, and there's that gentleman. Like I said, he was going to push in. We knew he was going to die. Did he get the click off? We'll have to watch the points and see if they go up.
Yeah. Still though, Santa, he's tempted. What is he going to go for it? That is the question. Maybe he can try and get some cover fire here from one of his teammates as he goes. He is going for it. He's going for the crates. He's taken one. He looks like he's taken two. Can he get the third? He hasn't found it, I don't think. He did start taking fire, but there you go. 2 crates going to Santa. Very, very smart tactic to go for them indeed. And now we will probably, I don't know if they've seen the third. Oh, yeah, Lord has. Oh, he did. And then he didn't.
Fresh really got stuck in here. They got held up on both sides, it seems. So they really couldn't advance. They had, Santa holding them from the roof and the 2 other teams on their side. I mean, it was a good attempt. They're getting lots of points, but they will not get those heli points.
Yeah, unfortunately they won't. But, the raid is still on the cards. But it does seem like there's better Largy. They're just waiting there. It's a very scary sight to see outside your doorstep, going right in when your base does not look, completed. I don't know if the compound is still open, but I would imagine so. But it is, with the compound being open, it seems like Fresh do have the advantage from the angle they're coming in at.
I mean, Fresh is taking control. They have 3 teams they're up against, and it looks like, I say that, poor Mango, every time I compliment him, he dies. I mean, I should just stop talking about them, the poor guy. I want them to do well. But yeah, they seem to be dominating this area, even when they're taking on 2 teams from multiple sides. So, I mean, kudos to them. Kudos to Bobsley and again, this name. We're going to talk about it later. I'm going to have a talk with this team. Got to keep it simple for this caster. That's what we rule. When you're naming your teams and you come into this, if you want me to say them, make them simple. But yeah, no, they're doing a really good job despite all the traffic they have right at their front door.
Yeah, I'd be quite scared if I was them. But we are looking now, 30 seconds away from going to the raid phase. We've got Messi, Joker, and ABX, RNC. There's a gang. Yeah, 4 teams in this one base, and I already know why. It's very open base, so this is probably going to be one of the first to go as well. Doesn't look like there's much going for them, although they are all in the base. Maybe they can defend it, but Messi are waiting there outside the door. Oh, taken out by the one gang player I can see, but the rest of the gang players are right next door, so they will probably push in themselves as well. But here we go. Raid phase has started. The boom is off. Let's see who gets raided first.
Yes. Well, going out of this phase, we had Fresh and we had RNC both neck and neck. RNC pulling up huge points. Even when we went from the attack phase into the raid phase, you see them. They knew the countdown on the C4, and they threw it strategically with so many seconds left that it would go off in the raid phase. Very smart.
Basically, what we're going to see here from these players is blood, sweat, and tears built out. But hey ho, the other C4s coming in. Messi going in from the bottom. RNC look like they're going from the top. Bobsley already taken it. It was Fresh who took that raid as well. And as I said, Bobsley will be one of the first to go, and I got that spot on. They were the first to go.
Yes, unfortunately, they had multiple teams on their base. The compound wasn't finished, and it's just too much. It's too much to, if you can't get your build done during the build phase, you really are at a disadvantage when they hold you back during the attack.
Yeah, and the base is starting to be opened up. RNC taking the bottom floor, taking out Messi, but Joker then meeting his maker. I think it was Beast maybe who took him out there. But then RNC now going to try and dribble in through this bottom door. And it's going to be a big fight now to see who will take the TC in the end. 3 players are present though. Oh, that's a lot of C4 going on that door there. Looking for the TC. Maybe they thought, okay, here's the armoured stuff. It's most likely behind one of these. Maybe they're right, or maybe that was just the mind games. Maybe that's the Zen mindset, the confusion factor playing there. But you never know. ABX may be smart about this one.
And high qual takes a lot of C4. C4 is mainly used for doors more so. It quickly goes through doors, melts both that and oh, we have KBX. It was just eliminated by RNC. RNC making quick work. Wow. So they knew what they were doing, obviously.
Well, they picked. Well, they did make it obvious. They did put it behind the only armored, reinforced metal there. So interesting, but you never know.
We have GG, who was just eliminated by Cute. I'm sorry, I've had to cut you off there.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But you know, Clear, Cute, both. It looks like Clear's base, Cute are pushing in. That's what it seems to me. But only one Cute player on the outside. Boom is in though, or maybe it's the other way around. I know. It's Clear, clearing out Cute by the looks of it.
So Cute is another team of friends that I know. These guys, they are cuties, by the way. They're very familiar to Rust, longtime players, and it looks like there's a lot going on. Clear is really making work at the inside of this base.
Yeah, they are clearing it. They are definitely clearing it, and there's not a lot left. Well, there is a lot left actually, but you know, it's a start. This base seems to have another deal or no deal aspect to it. Which door do we put all our boom on? Which side do we take first? And where will the TC be? And most of the time, it's usually behind one of those doors.
I mean, you have Jamesy, you have Purple, you have Dylan Zito. This is a team. Clear knows how to raid. They're very good raiders. As long as Purple can stay alive, they have a decent chance of figuring this raid out and getting those points.
Yeah, and Clear are literally absolutely annihilating Cute now as they try to defend this raid, but what can we say? The Clear players are very good at their killing. They're very good killing the raid, the defenders especially. Every time a Cute member pops up, they are gone within seconds, and they are really just, they're not wasting any time. They're pushing through the space. They want the 40 points. They want to see themselves go towards the top of the leaderboard.
Yes, but don't count Cute out. Cute are seasoned players. We're hoping maybe they'll get this, you know, some control over their base. Do they have enough beds? Do they have the respawns and the kits to actually defend? I'm not seeing it, but you know, a lot can happen. They're not out of it yet.
You're right, they are not out of it yet, and that's the key here. And what we see a lot as well with these sort of bases, it takes so long to find where it is. So they might run out of boom. They might start to realize this raid is not going to be worth it. We don't have enough to take this one and another one after it. We don't want to waste all of our boom on one base. We want to go for multiple raids. And for a team with Purple and Jamesy and Clear, the way they raid, I assume they would like to go for multiple raids in this event, and that would probably secure them a victory.
So this is another one of the best builders in these events you're going to see. Cute, their builder Selfish, BG, he's a well-known builder. He builds BI bases. He can build anything, but he specifically builds BI bases. And I've played with him, and you can watch him. His base actually is a defense in its own. It's very hard to find his TC. So, you know, this is not an easy raid for Clear by any means.
Yeah, it isn't. But you know, the positive side for Clear is when it comes to PvP, they seem to have a very high advantage. They haven't really, I don't think I've seen a Clear player be killed yet. It seems to be all in favor for them over their opponents in Cute. It doesn't seem like Cute have got too much of a hold on the base at the moment. Although they are good base builders, it's whether they can actually defend, and so far they haven't been able to do so effectively.
Yeah, it's amazing, like you said, you know, to not see Jamesy and Purple die like they do usually all the time. I mean, good for them. Good day for them.
It seems like the EU event, maybe they're too tired in the NA event.
So what do we have here? We have Bob, and we have, whose base are we in? Are we in IMC's base? I do believe.
Yeah, you're right on that one. IMC and Bob seeming to come in. Not really much left to search though. It does seem like it was cleaned pretty well inside that base then. So I'm sure there'll be a raid happening here in a couple of seconds if IMC can't pull out any magic tips and tricks.
So this is a familiar base. We see this a lot, you know, the shooting floor with the drop downs in the corners. Like oftentimes we've seen more times than none the TCs in those corners. So you'll see a lot of teams come in and attack on those corners that play this event week in and week out. Kind of quiet. Have they run out of boom? Are they trying to plan this? It's a little stale.
I'm not sure what their approach is at the moment. They were inside the base a second ago, killing the players for IMC, but it doesn't seem like they were progressing any further with the raid. So maybe this one will fall under the radar, and IMC will eventually scrape out of it. But it does seem like most of the interior, especially, has been ripped apart by these Bob players. So maybe they just realised, yeah, okay, there's only a few places left to go. Let's go and get some more C4. Let's go and get some more rockets, and let's light this base up when we come back, because the damage they've done is not really fixable in a short amount of time.
Oh no, it's not. It's very open concept right now. This build.
We will move on, and here we have two more teams, and here's the team that Cute were eliminated by Clear. I mean, well, we did say if they can't defend, they'll be gone, and well, only a time before that happened.
So here we have VVVVV. I feel like I'm not sure. I feel like I have a stutter trying to pronounce this team's name every time. They seem to be a defending, possibly on a possible. Did we miss something that was happening here? It looks like it because they're all at home.
Yeah, it seems like HV maybe were trying to go in there. If you look at all the foundations and the walls placed down, looks like they were progressing and pushing onwards to get a raid, but it seems like it was defended without much of a problem. Looking at the BVV etc's base, they haven't really took much damage at all.
So guys, I just want to remind everyone that's watching, if you like what you're seeing and you want to play, if you play Rust, come play Base Invaders. Anyone can play this. You sign up weekly through the Discord, which I've put in the chat, through the Twitch. You just click on that link, join the Discord, sign up with your friends. Anybody can play. It is so much fun. And really, you know, we talk a lot about these teams that we know and highlight and so on and so forth, week in, week out. But anybody, it is wide open and it's so much fun.
Yeah. And that's usually what you need to do. If you ever love Rust action, you love what you see here, but you think you're not good enough, you can gain experience, you can get better, and these players will definitely teach you how to play, especially with the speed that they've advanced to. You can also see in the clips and the highlight submissions channel in the Discord some of the amazing skills. But IMC eliminated by Bob eventually. We did know it was coming, but we just didn't know when. But Bob finally get that raid over the line.
Okay, and here we're back at the grudge match that you were speaking about earlier. We have, it looks like Nurek's making a push for Idol, but it's on the opposite side of Nurek's base. Is it Nurek? It is. Okay, so what is on? I'm just trying to, the cameraman, if I can get him to swing to where they're shooting from.
A player I'm familiar with usually comes back with the same York squad. York, again, a team that came second in EU last week, looking to win. They do not want a loss here. They don't want to come second. Second means nothing for them. They want first. They want blood. And here they are going after Idle early doors. Obviously, another raid that was happening last week. These two teams love going at each other. But Idle, they aren't that bad at defending. They're quite a good team all around, really. So it'll be interesting to see if they get raided here.
I'm curious as to why Nurek took this side. This is not the side I would have imagined them to raid from, but I guess you don't want to have Clear on your back because their base is on the opposite side. They're actually running through this to get here. Interesting strategy, but again, it's cluttered, it's congested here. You have a lot to deal with.
Yes, you do. And the thing is, the great thing is actually these players are just not bothered either way, and even if they haven't chose the right side, or maybe there was some strategy behind that we don't know. Maybe they know where the TC is. Maybe they think it's on this side. Maybe that's what the motive is to come from this from shooting the side. But it doesn't look like they have an idea though from where they are sending their shots in. Or
yes,
Fresh.
they took a big chance. Fresh was in the back of them. Them coming in this side, totally Fresh able to clean them up and then continue this raid and take it over.
They do. Yeah. And that's what Fresh like to do. You know, Gel and Wittex, the players are always there, hungry to steal a raid, hungry to get more points. They're already on 185. They're already top. They want this raid. They want to progress 40 further points up the table. Additional kill points on the way. And they've just got some there by taking out the entirety of the Nurag team. And that's what these players love to do.
I'm very curious. I hope we get to figure out where the TC is in this one, because I'm very curious why they swung and took that big a risk, knowing who was on their backs, trying that. So very interesting. Very, very interesting.
It is. And, you know, they've managed to do it exceptionally well. Idle out, sending heavy shots at Fresh. Now they're here to stay. Sending very heavy shots indeed. But, you know, there's still hope here for Idle. Fresh aren't yet pushing into the base. They'll be looking to probably get some boom up on that wall. You never know what's going to happen with these teams. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the next couple of seconds. But it does not seem like this raid will be an early raid. It'll be a 15-minute job at least.
And Clear is now pushing up. They're trying to debate whether they're going to end. I've seen two of them kind of sniff around, trying to make an attempt. But again, them coming in from that side, they have to worry about Nurag on their backs and what's going to happen there.
They do, because Nurag, you know, they were there before. I assume they won't just let Fresh steal their raid. It looks like they might be coming from a different side, actually. Maybe they're just going to let Fresh take the distraction on one side, and they're going to be sneaky and come from the other. But Clear now is a problem for them, as Clear's coming behind them. Obviously, Clear are looking for a new raid after they've just finished their last one. Maybe Clear now are going to come and get involved with this one.
Purplu with the double kill. They tell me he can shoot. I don't see it very often, but that clearly he did good.
And what we adore to see in Base Invaders is when these players can perform at their highest ability. Especially when they're coming and providing... Oh, hang on a minute. That was a fast raid. Maybe it was on that side after all.
So somebody knew something. There was a reason. It made no sense to me why they would swing like that. So somebody knew that the TC was definitely on this side. So Fresh, you know, able to clean this up and get that, you know, those 40 points.
Just extends to the already dominant lead that they have over this team. Over RNC it is at the moment, but they are starting to run away with it. So RNC need to catch up and get a raid very, very soon.
Okay, now it looks like we're at something's base, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Leon's starting to get themselves into this base. Leon's a team we've seen last week, the week before maybe. Relatively new team for what I've seen anyway. Here they are, trying to raid. You know, they are coming consistently, so maybe now they're trying to improve, get better at the game. They are starting to get better. They're going for a raid here on something. That's a good suit name for this. They're raiding something, but I wonder if it'll be the TC that they take in the end.
Most definitely. We have BG in the Twitch chat. He's asking, is there an AU BI? There's only an EU time slot and an NA time slot right now. And you can sign up for either. Whatever time, if you go to the Discord, it shows you in your local time what time these events are when you look at those times. And you can sign up for any. So feel free. We would love to see, especially more. I love our AU people. So we would love to see more involved.
Yeah, they are definitely a region that we need to include, because obviously there must be some great players in the AU region for Rust to get involved with some Rustoria base invaders. Obviously, ping may be an issue if you come on the EU and NA servers, so that would be the reason to steer you away. But, you know, always something to give a try. But more rockets are starting to fly now from Leon. It did seem like it was a couple of seconds until they shot it, but now they will start banging it onto the wall.
So something has a tri-raid going at them. They have Bagali on one side, they have Dodge on the other, and they have Lennox. Of course, the two hardest team names for me to pronounce would be here in one raid. Just saying. But they are in a lot of trouble, and they have a lot of people to shut down if they're going to keep their base.
Yes, they do, and they need to get rid of them quick, otherwise it will cause some issues for them. They don't want those issues, because if they do get those issues, you know, they might be out of the event quicker than they'd have expected. But Leonts are there, Bedolagi, they're coming in at the teams, but Leonts are trying to fight them off too. I mean, it's 1 versus about 5 there. It's not going to end well for him.
Interesting strat too. So it's something to be said. This Lance player coming behind them and kind of picking them off. Yes, he's going to stop them from raiding. Is it to his advantage right now? That's the question. Because they could literally find the TC in the amount of time it takes this one guy to come in and try to pick up all these others. He's not really stopping them from raiding. He died, obviously. So, interesting strat. Everybody goes about it different ways. I'm trying so hard when watching this not to make a Dodge joke because it's very slow rating over there, but I'm not going to do it. I don't want to piss off the Dodge lovers out there. But I'm, just saying it's a very slow rating.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, here they come though. They are moving up the hill, slowly but surely, looking to push towards the base as well. Looking to take that base down, looking to get themselves in and take the TC. But Bedolagi there as well, they're starting to get some boom in there, they're taking out the compound, and there's just a lot of explosion happening for no reason there, but nevertheless, always nice to see a firework display.
I mean, with all these teams around them, the raids are happening pretty slow. So, I mean, they've had a lot of chance to defend here. Something is actually very fortunate because they could just be getting pounded from all sides consistently. We have BK in the chat. BK is a longtime player of this. He's kind of taking a little break, but he's telling us the caster sounds so amazing. So, thank you, BK.
Yeah, it's always good to hear. Always good to hear some positive feedback rather than negative, so thank you very much. But here we go, Bedolagi, they look to be making the first move. It's obviously a team that we did see early doors start to push out to find the raid. Didn't find it, Fresh stole it instead, but now they're coming to find the raid of their own here. At the moment, they're only on 58 points, quite disappointing. They are quite far behind Fresh now, but they do need to get started and get started soon. Not impossible, but it's difficult to catch up.
Now you see everything happening a little faster. Everybody's got their walls up. They feel they got their beds down. They're established. Now they're really going to start to raid. So, again, you're seeing like both teams aren't really picking on each other. They're just hammering the inside of this base. And that's usually how it goes, how you get that fast 40 points. One of these guys has picked the right side.
Yeah, and they are starting to pound in. Leonts are making a return. Dodge not there anymore, it doesn't look like. So, the base is getting taken down slowly but surely. Oh no, there's Dodge. Oh, hi Dodge. They are still there. And they are now starting to fire themselves into the base. This will not have much left of the base when all teams have finished shooting, to be honest. All sides will be stripped open and, well, Leonts are coming in again to try and kill off Bedolagi.
They have been a thorn in this team's side. They're not even raiding anymore. They just keep coming in. They're actually helping them. So something was just eliminated by Dodge. You've seen Dodge coming in that side. They weren't messing around with the PvP. They went for the TC and they got the points.
And that's how you need to execute a raid. That's how you need to pull it off. And they've done it exactly the way, you're supposed to. Even though at first they were coming in a bit quite slow, but that's how it works sometimes. They got it. That's all that matters.
So this is what I call the bad neighborhood. These guys right now, this base has been there's bad things have happened at this base. Look at this base. There's many bad things. So poor Gang, I feel is very vulnerable at this moment.
Yeah, they are. They are. This base is looking right the way open, split down the middle. And Gang might be taking a beating here. Messi as well. There they are. Players that are looking to get themselves a raid. Messi at the moment sat in 7th. The points would put them 7th. Wait, yeah, they would still be 7th if they got the raid. The kills, they go to 6th. Oh yeah, Gang is 6th, so it's a 7th versus 6th. So yeah, if they can take out Gang, then they progress to 6th anyway. If they get kills along the raid, possibility that they could take away Clear, but you never know. Clear as well will probably be looking for another raid after we've seen them earlier dominate a team. RNC getting involved as well now, and they are 2nd. They do need this raid to catch up to Fresh.
Most definitely. RNC is looking for points. Fresh is kind of pulled away right now. There's still an hour left. There's lots of TCs on this map, lots of time. This isn't over by any means. But RNC would definitely, and here we go, Gang. It looked like they had been sealing this, and you see them sealing even some more. They need to seal this fast. They have the lull, the timer's off. They need to really get this thing put back together if they're going to. Oh, and RNC's in the middle of their base, so they're going to put them in timer again. Gang's really, really not looking good.
Yeah, they'll be down and out in a couple of minutes. RNC, you know, they're not a team that like to take the time. They will go forward. They will brute force their way into your base, which is already half open. So it gives them already a sight to where to go to find the TC. Maybe in that, I'm fancying that the armored wall in the middle there, right in the middle, bang in the middle. You know, I wouldn't have expected the team to place a TC there.
Now, one thing for anyone who's never been involved in Base Invaders, you have to have your TC accessible. It has to be behind a door or a window. It cannot be walled in. So when these raiders go in, they're also making sure, like when they're picking their spaces to raid, they want to make sure that it's not a sealed in area because it's a waste of rockets or C4.
Yeah. I'm just seeing what's actually left of this base to hide the TC in. Doesn't seem like there's a lot. Bob now still there, making an appearance on the other side. Maybe that will be the side that the TC is most likely on, the side that Bob are raiding from. So if they have the boom, and yes they do, this might be where they start to open it up and maybe even get the TC off one of the wall shots. So
vending machines you don't often see in here, so I'm very curious what exactly they felt they were going to sell in this event. But you know, if you have a little side business, make a little money while you're playing Base Invaders, I mean, you know, I'm not going to put it past them.
Yeah. Well, they have started to open up the base very slightly, but they aren't really raiding at the speed we'd expect. If they want to get this raid, maybe they don't have the rockets for it, but they need to start just going out and taking down that wall completely, stripping it of the front layer. But that's the only way they can really start to raid this effectively. If RNC are there, and RNC will just take it, but it's right outside their base as well, so it's not like they haven't got time to go back and get more reinforcements and rockets and stuff. So theoretically, they should be able to take this one easier than RNC with the angle that they're coming in from.
Yes, and if you've seen, just when we click glance, you've seen Messi, and they're over in a base that was there, and it's been demolished. So when a TC goes, the admins, after everyone's cleared out, they go in, they demolish the base. So you'll see teams, when they see these demolished bases, run over there, try to find more rockets. It's a way to keep raiding. And Gang, you hear them, they're sealing as best they can. They're off timer again. RNC is not booming. They've been actually, it looks like they've been actually cleared out. I don't see, oh, there's one on the backside, but I don't see any deep in the base anymore.
Yeah, and again, they are coming from a side that's already been shot at. Maybe it was them who originally tried to raid, but they need to go over to the other side and take out Bob, really. Which is difficult, because Bob has a base next door, so theoretically Bob could just start shooting from their own roof and start sending. So could RNC, theoretically, if they wanted to. But it seems like both teams are sort of taking like a slow stance to this one. I'm not quite sure why they're going as slowly as they are. Maybe there's something that we don't know. Obviously, Boomshot is involved with that team, and Boomshot is a very, very good attacker, very, very good raider. From what I've seen of them.
So even though this is a 10, or sorry, I think it's 100x actually. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. You have to, when you do these raids, you're sinking a lot. These bases are expensive. You're sinking a lot into them. So if you go into a raid and you don't get the TC and you use all your boom and you're not getting the profits from that raid, it really sets you back. So you're going to have people out there trying to either farm up more. It's really going to slow down the process. And the deeper we get into this raid phase, the more you're going to see where they run out of boom.
Yeah, again, fresh now. They're here. Probably ready to go. Punk trying to get a couple of kills off. Not able to do what they wanted, though. And it does seem like Nyoric here are the base that they're going for. They've got that ring of steel, if you'd call it, in the middle, underneath their shooting floor. So, maybe they can, maybe Fresh are going to go for a raid here and take more points. Nyoric are a threat, but so far they haven't been performing to what we usually see from them. So, maybe this one will just be a nice easy raid for Fresh, because they need, if they get another raid, they really do start to run away with this event.
Yes, and Fresh, I mean, they're strategic. They know where to go. They are seasoned players of this BI event, so I mean, they're a very formidable opponent. You also seen Santa up there. Santa hasn't done much. They're out. Their players are out because there's only one I seen at home and base, but that battleship is very well, all it needs is a moat. I wish we had a moat. If we could just put a, yeah, okay. So, but yeah, we have Krusty in the Twitch chat, and he's saying, I want to play next week. Yes, sign up. Go to the Discord. Bring your friends. Anybody can play this. If you want to play against some of the top players in Rust, because they're in this event. At the end of the stream, I'll tell you who they are. We're not going to give them away during it, but I'll tell you who they are. You can come play, and they are going to force you with their AKs to get better. I guarantee you, they will force you.
And that's what they have the pleasure of doing. They are always able to perform and blow people's minds, really. Nearly the professional players of Rust seems farming the Rustoria base invaders, and they always come back week in, week out, perform well, finish top 5. And it's starting to get more and more spread, though. I do see a lot more teams coming, a lot more threat. And it's a mix or match situation with who actually takes the wins in this event, because sometimes teams underperform. Sometimes they perform better, but one thing you've got to remember is with each week, the number of members you can have changes. So maybe that has an effect on these teams as well. Maybe teams are stronger with less players, maybe they're stronger than other teams with more, and that's what's interesting about the 6-mans, the 7-mans, the 3-mans, the 5-mans. When it changes, it's always interesting to see which team comes on top with the amount of players they have.
Oh, so right. And here we have Santa. They built a tank of a base, and they're showing you they have tanks of attitude because they finally come out and they go after the top team Fresh. They are not scared. And in fact, they're doing quite well on the outside, kind of dominating the outside. They can't really push in. They're being held on the outside walls pretty much, but still, and I spoke too soon. Caster's curse. That poor gentleman just died in front of us.
Yeah. Right in front of our eyes, indeed. No, nothing to say for him other than RIP, respawn, regain. But they are all starting to push in. Fresh, just chilling there, just having a good time. Santa all trying to fly themselves over to maybe get a raid, but at the moment they just sat putting base, sat putting the prison, as we called it.
Okay, here we have our VVVVV team taking on another base. They're kind of down in points. They need these raids desperately if they're going to catch up and try to win this event today. Still an hour, but they're taking on that white, and on the outside, it looks like they're very much in control.
Yeah, but it's something that we don't really know until bombs start flying. We start seeing the base get torn apart with fast descent, and we know who's in charge. But right now, that white, again, they've been coming in and out the past couple of weeks, performing well. And here they are again, just sat on their base. They're not in the top 10, but they're just here for the placement, here to make it till the end, to prove that they're fighters. And here they're doing very, very well against a strong team, although one of them has just taken a death on the roof. Maybe given a chance here for VVV recurring to come in and well, basically open the base up completely.
So VVV is trying to make a push. They haven't actually started raiding, I don't believe. I think the rockets we've seen from the side are coming from HV, who is to the right-hand side of them. I'm pretty sure. We'll watch and see if we see another one launch, but I'm almost positive it's HV that made the actual rocket push, whereas VVV is kind of focusing and trying to get control here, and they're being eliminated. They're being picked off one by one here.
Yeah, well, obviously they are, as you said, very, very good defenders. And there is meant to be a lot of good attackers around as well, so hopefully they can regain themselves. But there's a elimination there. RNC taking out Gang Gang. Eventually, after opening up half the base, they finally split the other half open, found that TC, and that really tightens the gap between RNC and Fresh. Pushing now towards Fresh to take that top. From there, you know, Bob are quite far behind, so it does seem like it will be an RNC and Fresh race today.
Okay, so HV is actually looking at VVV's base. Liam protecting, you know, again, Liam's great builder. That's his home. He's going to protect it. HV is really being a thorn in VVV's side. You know, they're really kind of slowing everything down out here.
Yeah, there are. And what I can say about it is we've got all these players here. See, HV are an interesting one for me because it doesn't look like they're too bothered about VVV at the moment. They're just trying to focus on getting the raid. But the thing is, they're so far away from the actual raid that, well, maybe they're pushing in. They are so far at the moment that it's not even going to be a competition. But there you go, HV getting another kill there. And VVV getting cleaned out apart from one now. One player still remains. One respawn in the distance. But it all comes down to this one player's job here to try and survive, trying to keep the raid hopes alive for his team.
We see VVV Pod snaking his way through, looking to see if he can put a wall down. He knows that they're pinned behind, and he does.
Yeah.
Oh, the cat and mouse event. Oh, one sneaking through and weaving these walls. The question is, do they both know they're there?
Yeah. It's a bit of a dogfight here. Pop coming to try and get a kill. Ends up dead. Pod is gone. Oh, but his teammate comes behind him, picks up the loot, most likely with the guns and the armor, ready to carry on his very own stance. Here's Pike Myson, interesting name. Just swapped it around. So here he is trying to find some kills. Does end up getting a couple of shots. Downs the player, in fact. But now, oh yeah, okay, there you go. VVV taken out again for another time.
This HV team, I'm impressed. Their close combat, you know, very impressive. Good for them.
Gotta give the credit to them. They're really performing like a team should perform. And not too sure where else we can go with it other than, wow, what a player, what a players. And you know, what really surprises me is, oh well, that base is just finally despawned. All the loot will be picked up by whoever makes the rush first. It looks like Bob are going to take over that compound for now. Messi, is that Messi's base? Or is that's Bob's base, it looks like. Messi just sat behind it in a truck.
Well, Messi said, I might not be able to get your TC, but your truck, I'm taking it. It's gone, you know? Listen, the mental in this play right now. But yeah, we have RNC who's still, you see them on there, and that's what I was going to say. When they took that raid, they needed to get that boom. I felt like they were struggling. They didn't have enough boom. They were really trying to be strategic in the raid. So if they get that boom and they're able to move on, you might see them really jump up in points and really challenge Fresh for that lead.
Yeah. What can we say? Here's a fiery helicopter acting as a torch on top of the base as well. Walls getting built behind the what once was a compound. No longer is, and that was Gang's old base. May they rest in heaven. Now they're gone. But Bob are running in. Bob are right next door, conveniently, to this base. All the loot, all the gear, all the boom, anything that was left over, they can just take for their own. Take for repairs, take for, ammunition, C4, rockets, rocket launchers, whatever they want, they can have, because it's all theirs now. Everything down there belongs to them.
And here you have Bob looking around there, and just on the other side of the wall, you have the RNC team, whether they know they're there. But again, it's this scavenging, like, going through these bases that are deleted are so key to being able to go to the end. You have so much time left. You need a lot of resources because you're putting everything into these bases. So you go through so much gear set, so many guns, so much boom. It's insane. Like, I'm talking boxes.
Yeah. And I mean, they've not got enough time to do it. It seems RNC are just going to come in and take someone out. Maybe the second one, Ohio, is there. Down now, it seems. Because RNC are coming in to say, hang on a minute, we want a bit of this. We helped out. We only got the raid. You're not taking it. But then, Bob's just there, told him who's boss.
You see them walling off this loot. Like, this is the fight, the battle. We had the battle for the TC. Now we need the battle for the reward. So, and Messi's kind of snaking in and out of there, seeing what they can pick up. But again, you see how crucial it is just to get these resources to keep going for this event.
All these teams are very interested in taking what's left of this base, picking it apart like a pack of wolves. Messi there, RNC there, Bob are there. Oh. There goes Joker. And, good performance from those three teams, Bob, Messi, and RNC. RNC, obviously, second, Bob in third. Messi, a bit further back in ninth. But, they've all been around. They've all been causing some noise and making some panic. But looks like we'll move on to see what's going on down in the south. Raid seems to be happening here. Or happened. Or is this Leon's raiding somebody else? It looks like
this looks like a free raid.
Yeah, Mission Impossible there as they were going up. Dodge! Oh, one's home. One has realised, but Leons are coming in full pack. They're in a full pack here. They're all on top. They're ready to start booming in. There's one Dodge player back. Will he be able to alert his buddies fast enough? Or will this Bundy, will he not get everyone back? Hope they're all spawned on the roof, but they've all just taken an early death as well. As soon as they came back, they were just taken out. So maybe now Leon have a chance to just take this raid. It looks like all of them are there. So maybe now this is their plan. This is how this is their uprising. This is how they're gonna win this event. They're gonna come from behind and take out all the inactive teams who are away somewhere else fighting.
Dodge having to come home because guess what? Somebody came to visit and they had no idea. So Leonce was able to ladder up, get into their shooting floor, and quickly start raiding because, again, Dodge was out trying to get points of their own, and that's the risk you take. You leave to raid somebody else, and guess what? Somebody's going to raid you.
Yeah, that's true. What can I say? It's a very good position they found themselves in. Not for Dodge. Dodge aren't looking very impressive at the moment. But nevertheless, there's still time on the clock for them to defend this. But so far, it's looking very dangerous.
No, they did it right. They laddered up. They got control of the shooting floor. That's half the battle run. Anybody that's watching, any of our seasoned players, when it comes to raiding, you get control of that shooting floor, you have shut down a lot of possibilities for regaining control. You've made it a lot harder on those defenders.
Yeah. And they've already really burrowed in like rabbits here into a tunnel. I don't think they look like stopping anytime soon. They coming from the roof, coming from the top, and they're going to work their way down to the bottom here. And it does seem like there's hundreds and hundreds of doors to search through. Whether Dodge can defend those doors is the question.
One thing I will note, and I've seen it in recent weeks. A lot of times you see them, there's a couple teams in particular, Purplu's team, for instance, they come in with jackhammers. And the first thing they do, especially that shooting floor, when they get in it, they take out the beds. The beds are gone. You eliminate their respawn points. You've really put them at a disadvantage. But I haven't seen a lot of that today. They're kind of, this guy, he was stuck, but they quickly made sure he was unstuck, Dodge. But yeah, you take out those respawn points and you have control over the base. But not really a lot of that happening today.
Yeah, not at all. I guess it's the experienced players who bring them along more to raids. You know, you like to Purple, Jamesy, Wittex, and those. But you know, Leon's they don't think that they need the jackhammers. They just they're going to come up with the boom. They're going to come up with the C4. But Dodge are starting to get their ground back here. They're starting to find some kills. But Lions just keep coming like an apocalypse. But at the moment, oh well, who's come back again? They always seem to turn up late for the party, but better argue back for another fight.
Battleloggy out here sniffing around, seeing what's going on, getting kind of assessing the situation. They came with raid launchers. They mean business, so it'll be interesting to see if they start raiding it. And they do.
Yeah, they are. And now Leonce will have to be careful. Battleloggy looking to take this one over. They said, move out the way, we'll show you how it's done. And now they're going to start to try and get into space and find the TC.
Oh, that shooting floor. Now you see, Dodge got their shooting floor black. Do you see the damage they do now that they've regained that? Totally different scenario. They looked really disadvantaged. It looked like they weren't doing much. The minute they get their shooting floor black, nobody's coming in this base. Nobody's passing those compound walls.
Yeah, and I mean, what we love to see here is just how good these players can play, how strong they can fight and battle. And so far, they are really, really pushing on. Dodge are keeping alive, but Leonce is still sat inside the base in the small corner that they own still. He might be stuck now there, though, down in that little hole. I'm not quite sure if he's... I know he's not. He's able to get out. I think he's just being careful he doesn't get killed.
So it's the age old, what do? Do you get back quickly, forget bringing a gun, run in and hope you find one? And that's what he did. He literally ran in and hopes he picks up a gun off the ground and starts shooting people. But a lot of the season guys will tell you, you're no use to me unless you bring a gun back. So whenever you go down and you have to come back into a dogfight, if you don't have a gun, you're actually not of any use to the team at that point. So again, choices, and it didn't work out for her.
Yeah, I wouldn't assume it too. But Battleloggy, they're just going to keep coming now as well. Dodge aren't going to be liking this, all the abuse they're getting from two teams now, not just the one. So it's interesting indeed. I wonder what's actually going to be happening for them.
Dodge is doing a great work of defending. There's not a lot of raiding going on. There is, again, they're trying to make the pushes, but they having that shooting floor, they're keeping everyone pretty much at bay.
They're doing a good job as well.
We have Matt the Flopper who's saying Rustoria good. Well, they put on this event. They have many servers. It's a great org. And again, I'm going to put the Discord in. If you want to play this event, by all means, everyone should join. And you can play, like I said, against some of the biggest names that you've heard of in Rust in this event.
Yeah, indeed. And Rustoria, massive organisation on Rust. Base Invaders is just one of the branches that they own. Base Invaders, in my opinion, is one of the funnest as well. And, it can only grow from here. It's already growing. More players are coming back week in, week out. More teams are starting to return. And it's a very competitive sport as well, I like to think, because the teams who are winning change every week. It's not just consistently one team winning every week. It's rather mixed. And that's what's so great about Rustoria is you're never going to have one team winning every event. It's always going to be a mixture. That's
right. And they also have a leaderboards. That Discord that you sign up for, there is a leaderboard point system that you can go and check your stats. It really is competitive. The guys that end up playing this week in and week out, they have chats, they talk, they all razz each other, friendly competition. And you get to, be here with us and watch it. And we pick on people like Purple and Jamesy who, they just won't go away. They keep coming back.
Yeah. And again, as we say, they play very, very good. Very, very good very, very good Rust here. Clear. They've been quite quiet actually since their first raid, I must say. But they're back. They are knocking on the door here, maybe looking to get a raid. They need one soon if they want to get anywhere. Fresh and RNC running away with it slightly though. 200 early points ahead. It's only about 160, I believe, at the moment. So there's still some time, but it's a lot of raids, a lot of kills to get if you want to get there in 43 minutes.
So Fresh being at 347 points and we are 43 minutes in is huge. That's a lot of points in only roughly 45 minutes of raiding, just 48 minutes. They've done an exceptional job. RNC right behind them with 293. VVV a little bit back, 228. And then you have Bob with 211. Nobody has sunk my battleship. I said it. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, it's still going strong. It's not fell to the ground just yet, and I'm sure there'll be a little bit of time left for them to be getting the attempt for them to get sank is this Fresh's little bunker that they've built. Does seem so, and Santa may be trying to get rid of it. They don't really like the look of it, so I guess we can see that now.
I mean, Fresh, well set up to make an attempt at this. Santa not being very effective with the push here. Fresh putting them down. Again, if this base stands to the end and we don't have a lot of options left, many teams could raid this base and you never see each other with the length and the width of this thing. You wouldn't even know. One could be on one side and on the other. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is indeed. And what we could say is 3 Fresh players sat in the centre there, trying to defend what they have left, which is 6 beds and a couple of crates. And they want to just get more points. They want to escape from RNC because RNC are pushing high. And maybe, this is not over for VVV or Bob either or Clear. If they can raid Fresh, it makes this a very level playing field for them to get themselves back up there.
Oh, you're so right. Interesting that Nurik is snooping around here. Not really setting up to raid. Kind of just being a thorn. Again, I use this term a lot. A thorn in the side of Fresh. Really not being very effective, if I must say.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it. But, I mean, I'm surprised at New York, to be honest, after the performance they gave us last week. They aren't really themselves today. Maybe they're missing a couple of main people, but they haven't really been as much of a pain in the arse as they usually seem to be. They always turn up and start killing people off when they're trying to raid. They're always that team that you think, oh, go away, please. They just come and they annoy and they keep pestering until they get that raid. And that's why they're so good, because they're so consistent. But today they haven't really been doing a good job of it, because Fresh has seen them, they've caught them out, and they've just taken them out every time they've tried.
We're going to move to another base. It looks like VVV is still kind of sniffing around the white space, or they took the white space? No. It looks like the white base tried to establish a platform to make a push on VVV, but they were shut down. I mean, that's the only explanation I can see for that platform. Or that was VVV's platform trying to make a push on the white. I mean, what's happening? But yeah, they seem to be kind of stagnant in the middle here. Looks like both sides are just kind of feeling each other out and trying to make a push to see who gets closer to throw rocket.
Yeah. What's lovely to see as well is no teams are really raiding at the moment. And, there's still over 10 teams left, I believe. I think it's around 13 teams, if I am not wrong in my maths. No, wait, 14 teams? 14 teams, yeah. Wow, I was close enough. With the way the leaderboard's left, it is quite difficult sometimes to see, but there, 14 it is. And, that's quite impressive. Usually we are down to less at the moment, but I still do believe we might go down to 10 teams by the end. That's only 4 raids. That's very doable for me in 39 minutes. So you never know. At the moment, no real raids are happening from what we've seen earlier. And it looks pretty clean at the moment on the playing field.
So we're just taking a look. We're going all over the map, seeing where the action lies. You know, there's no foretelling where. We just kind of jump from place to place and look and give you some good content here. So sometimes it just takes a minute, but we have an amazing cameraman who does an amazing job, and it's not Kaz. Just saying. No, we love Kaz. Kaz is going to be back soon. We got some really good news. He's been suffering from an illness that affects that amazing voice of his, and he got great news. So he's going to be back in the next 3 to 4 weeks, and we'll hear his amazing talent soon. Yes, that's another thing. We've seen some TCs fall today, so we definitely know it's not Kaz being the cameraman.
Yeah. Shout out to Ian, obviously providing this. I've been with him a lot. Ian tends to find a few more TCs than Kaz at times. Ian's a slight bit more patient with the waiting with the raids. But today, to be fair, we haven't actually had that many TCs on camera because there's not been that many raids that we've been at that have looked promising enough. And then all of a sudden, they find the TC. It's like, where'd they come from?
So INC focusing on the corner of this base, right above the high qual. They're going right below the shooting floor. Do they have a feeling? I mean, RNC, they know these designs. They play week in, week out. They've seen them. So oftentimes you'll see them strategically raid something for good reason.
So, you know, here they are. They're inside now. But maybe they do have a feeling. Maybe they've been given a tip-off. That, oh, yeah, by the way, it's in that corner. Oh, yeah. Well, that explains why most of the doors are gone. Because Clear are clearing it out. RNC Clear, taking Messi for the taking here. And maybe they will be able to just get this base gone in a matter of seconds, minutes, however long it'll take. There's still quite a lot to search through. There's still quite a lot of boom left to spend. And it will be behind one of the doors, most likely in this deal or no deal style base, so it'll be interesting to see when they find it or if they find it.
You know, Clear is doing a lot of work today. We've seen them in multiple raids. They're all over the place. They haven't stopped. So it doesn't reflect that in the points, unfortunately, because sometimes, you know, you miss the TC, you spend too long in a base, but they are really doing a lot of work today, regard.
Yeah, and I mean, what's so amazing to see is just how we are playing. How they're playing it out. I mean, they haven't got. Yeah, we are playing. Yeah, I feel like
obviously, we just seen Purplu. He got a little claustrophobic. He decided he needed to get that outside door, have a little bit of fresh air. So, you know, because it is, you know, the base is, you know, looking a little tight. But definitely the TC was not there. Purplu, good luck next time.
Yeah, sometimes players do unthinkable things and we can't explain them, but I'm sure they have some sort of thought process going on in their mind when they take rid of it.
Yes, I'm only joking because he's a good sport. But yeah, a lot of times when you get in these raiding and you're going after this, it's a race. And especially when you know you have another team. So if you have C4 on you, you're going to have, you know, your leader in your group screaming, just throw. That's all you're supposed to do. Run around, throw all the C4 you can on all these doors as fast as you can in hopes that you know, win the lottery, so to say.
Yeah. And I mean, one thing we can pick up on as well is how massive hidden the TC. The base is basically getting fireworked away. There's not a lot left to discover in this base. Jamesy's there clearing out as well. I don't know whether RNC is still around. It does seem like it's just clear now. Bob PPPPP. It looks like he's getting closer to the base. I'm not quite sure how far away he is, but more boom coming in. More shots falling. Interesting.
Poor Jamesy. He spelled his name backwards. I'll tell him later. He didn't realize. I know it's a sad mistake, but you know, it's at least he can shoot, right? That's where we're at. Massey's still trying to figure out where everyone's at. They're running around this, trying to get a field, like, you know, clear. Even though they're not PvPing hard here, they're making quick work of this base, trying to get through these doors, trying to find that TC. They just want those points.
They do. The points are what matter in this event. And so far, Fresh are still in the lead with about, what was it, perfectly 70 points. RNC aren't that far off catching, but I think really the only way to stop Fresh now is to raid them. I think that will be something that RNC will have in the back of their mind. Okay, these guys are top. We need to go and take them out. And if they do it, if they start it soon, then it's very possible that it could work for them. But you can't leave a team with like Fresh like 10 minutes to defend, because they'll have that with no problem. If you start now and you carry on until the end, you could win the event by getting kills and raiding that team alone. So RNC need to start thinking of that. They need to start getting the game face, because at the moment it seems like they're coming for a raid on Messi, which won't really benefit them as much as they might think, considering Clear are also present at the raid.
And we've seen this multiple times. Fresh has had a comfortable lead. They're ahead. But again, you do not know until it's over. We've seen multiple teams take on the top team saying, no, you're not going to win. Watch. And it really is. It's the luck of the draw. We'll wait and see what happens at the end. Now, where are we at now? We have Dodge's base, and they're still defending. It doesn't look like there's a lot of trouble in their base. It looks pretty secure, sealed up, tight. They have done, once they got their shooting floor, they've done an amazing job of kind of holding everyone back. Now, what exactly is going on in the outside? You hear a few gunshots. I think everyone's kind of, oh, look, actually Dodge is making a push. Where are they going? Or are they just clearing at the beds? I think they're just clearing at the beds and the respawn points, and they're just kind of looking around and gathering all the gear up of all the massacre that they, killed out everyone outside.
Looked to go again to get a cheeky little pop in there, but yeah, Dodge have pushed out. They've got rid of them. Leon's just sat down the hill as well now, it seems. So it's interesting to see who will go for them first. I do think they'll survive, though, based off what we've seen so far.
So what do we have going on here? We're now PvP focused in. Okay. Yes, and listen, this is King of the Hill at this point. So Leon's is definitely their controlling train yard right now. Dodge says, look, I got no time for this. You can have your tower. I think they're going to pull off, and they're going to go towards whose base do we have this? It's just a render issue. We can't really see. So, we have, but golly, who has been a thorn. So Dodge is kind of sniffing around. I would love to see this. I would love to see Dodge pull up and say, oh yeah, you wanted to raid? Let us show us how to raid.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're looking for. Maybe they're thinking, okay, you can't raid us. You've tried your best. You didn't succeed. We're going to come for you now. And if I was Benelagi, I'd be quite scared about that, because, Dodge have been able to take down every player that's raided them, despite them being away for a good couple of minutes as well when they were originally raided, and they still didn't get in. And here's Santa, compound slightly broken here, Fresh, Punk, quite a few teams on the outside. Is that Benelagi? Even Benelagi appeared. Interesting.
Okay, we have Punk trying to push in from the outside. It looks like Fresh has boarded. Did you see what I did there? They boarded because it looks like a... Okay. Anyway, so Fresh has tried, and they are inside this base. They're saying, hi, Santa, you've stayed at home long enough. Let's play. And again, this base is interesting to watch. I'll be so interested to see when this thing opens.
Yeah, I mean... The part that's going to be the most annoying for all these teams, if you don't really go with a strategy, you're not going to be able to find the TC. There's that many doors. It's like a hotel in the aspect. It's like a cruise ship. You've got that many doors to search in, that you've got all the guests staying in each room, and you don't know which guest is the bogey guest in this case. So it's going to be interesting to see if anyone actually does take it out. Look at the draw, I guess. You've got to pick the right one.
We have Sneaky Killer. He's in chat. He says, I hope to be able to join next week. Yes, please do. I'm going to do the Discord again. All you do, go to the Discord, sign in. You click, they do the announcement on Wednesday, says the team size, sign up with your friends. Anyone can play this. There is no limits. There's a limit to the team amounts. It's a huge limit though. So, the faster you sign up and the better chance you have to be in. So again, Sneaky, yes, come play. It's a lot of fun. And if not me, somebody will be here to harass you, and you get to, be made fun of like all these other people on the map today. It's a lot of fun when you do that. Don't worry.
And, what's so good as well is just how incredible we are watching these guys defend. They've got probably one of the most bizarre long bases I've ever seen in my life. Ever seen on Rustoria base invaders. And they've managed to pull it off. They've managed to defend it. They're still on the shooting floor, going strong.
I don't think that's a shooting floor. I think that's a bow. I'm pretty sure it's a bow. Or stern. One of the two. Fresh is boarded and they are now... Oh my gosh, the Titanic.
Oh, smart shot there at the turret. Bit of a quick scope he was with an RPG. Popped his head over. Yeah, bye-bye turret. And now they've got onto the roof. They want this raid. They want the points. They want safety. But they can't overdo themselves. If they all come out for this raid, they risk RNC coming after them. That white were taken by Bob, putting Bob closer now up with the points as well. So it all comes down to whether RNC can raid Fresh or anybody can raid Fresh, in fact, because Fresh are the ones that are away from the teams by a lot.
So we just seen Bob. They completed a sneaky raid. They took that white out of this competition. It put them up to 5th with 250 points. They've really snuck up into the leaderboard. They've pulled around, ahead of some other teams that have been going strong too. So, Fresh right now. Now, interesting. This cruise ship. I love that you called it a cruise ship. This is my new favorite. It has no shooting floor. It has good peek downs. You can do peek downs in some of the corners here, but there really isn't a shooting floor. So once they get control of this top, they pretty much, Santa doesn't have a lot of chance to defend on that.
Yeah. It's not looking good. I mean, as soon as you lose control of the upper floor, you've not got anywhere to hide. It's so open the base that as soon as the floor's gone, you're gone, essentially. And now it's the case of whether this Fresh team can find the right door, find the right hotel room, the right cruise room, whatever it's called on a cruise ship, I'm not quite sure. A bedroom, either way. They need to find the right one, take out the TC, walk away with it. Cabin, that's the one. Cabin. Yeah. And they need to gain it and 40 more points. Looks like I've seen outside. So,
you see the ramps. You see a lot of teams use these ramps, for peaks and things like that. And again, unfortunately, because they don't really have a shooting floor and they've destroyed all their beds. They C4'd, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they C4'd all the beds. They have no spawn up there. Now they're going to go through the middle. And I mean, the real question, is it port side or is it, starboard? Like, is it starboard? Yeah, I think. I'm having so much fun with this. I want to go boating. So you're going to see them go through. They're going to throw all the C4 they can, looking at this, advent calendar inside our cruise ship, trying to find the TC behind the door. I have a theory, though. My theory is it's not in these doors. That's my theory. But I've been wrong more times than I've been right.
Yeah.
So this guy, again, ladders, they might not have a lot of ladders. They're just looking up. They're like, hey, I'll take the floor out and below it. So, again, just, quickly looking through, trying to find this TC. They feel it's somewhere in this.
It is indeed. And what we need to wait and see for now is if these teams can actually prove themselves. I mean, Santa, they're not here. They've left. Oh, wait, never mind. They've came back. But there's so many doors, actually, that they could just get away with it with 24 minutes if the doors don't get taken. Because it doesn't seem like Fresh have any idea where it is. So it's going to be the case of whether they choose the right place. And what will make it even more amusing if they haven't even hid it behind the door. They've just got the doors there for the special effect. That would be hilarious.
So Sneaky, again, in Twitch chat, he's asking, what's the best way to join a team for next week? The best thing to do, if you can find, they announce the team size in the Discord, which I linked. Join the Discord. It always has the announcements, tells you how many people are playing for the week, and that's the team you need. But they also have a looking for group. So if you're looking to join a team, pop your name in there. Maybe somebody's missing a player, or maybe you'll just form a group with a bunch of people you find in there. So, again, it's a great way to start, playing this event and getting your name in there.
It is. And if you want to get good experience with Rust as well, this is definitely one to help you raid and defend. It's very fast paced, which means that you have to be good basically at defending or raiding, whichever one it is. You only have an hour and 30 minutes to do it. It's completely different, really, from the main game. But you know, it gets you very good experience if you ever go onto a normal server. You can just wipe everybody out in under an hour and a half. So it's really good fun, really good to get your raiding skills and defending skills better. And you never know, you might get some long-term friends from this server and get yourself into a good team.
So who do we have here? We have... Is this Punk space or Nureg space is the question. I want to say it's Punk. Yes, it is Punk. Punk kind of being challenged by Nureg. HV on the outside there, coming from the woods. Not really a lot of raiding in, but Punk seems to be raiding out.
Yeah, not much to be seen there. But oh, hello, this is going to be interesting. Is this HV's base? It is. Oh no.
Okay, so Leon's either missed. Yeah, he drives like me, unfortunately. Oh dear. Oh dear. And they skewered his whole team on. Yeah, that's. Oh my. So me and him, we will be on crazy copters later, practicing. Me and this poor Leon's driver. That was very bad. But anyway, we have VVV now challenging HV, which I'm glad to see. I don't know if it's true, but you have seen HV being the thorn again in VV's side. We hope it's not intentional. We hope they are playing this game. But, you know, again, what's a better way to shut a team up? Go in and take their TC?
Yeah, they're pissing you off enough. You have to go and raid them. It's quite amusing. But, you know, they've explored most doors, most windows of opportunity. Now they've only got a couple left to go. I would imagine them to get the raid here. If they don't, then it'll be quite disappointing for them. Oh, wow, they're fared now, actually. That's crazy. They're actually quite close to catching up to at least RNC. And if RNC take out Fresh, they could end up in the top 2. So you never know. But it doesn't seem like anybody's touching Fresh at the moment. Fresh seem to be, well, Fresh. No one's going for their base. And it's very interesting why nobody will actually take that attack and just try and take them out.
Fresh is doing a great job today. They've had nothing but luck when it comes to these raids. Again, not solely luck. They are skilled players. It's Mango's team. Very well known in Base Invaders. You know, something like 22 wins he's had. Those guys are big event players. So again, like you said, a lot can happen. We have 20 minutes left. Any one of these teams, it doesn't matter if it's the bottom team or the top team, can turn and take out Fresh if they so choose.
Yeah, they can. And the raid is it's starting to get a little bit underway. I mean, are the players inside? Are they throwing boom? I can't hear any, but I think they're just trying to figure out where it could actually be now. They've basically left. Oh, if it's that one door there, if it's that one door, then that's going to be really annoying. Isn't it? If they don't take that one door and it is behind that one singular door they've left really on the bottom floor, then that'll be kind of annoying.
Now, VVV, I have played with them many times, and I mean we're far enough into the event, you know, we can say who is now. So this is like Trowsy, Liam, Deathwing, Rickoloff's there today. We'd love to see Rickoloff in this event. We're very strong PvPer. You know, you can see right there. You know, you do not want to open a door and see them. They're great PvPers. Farmers, they are not. And you'll see them slow down in the raid because oftentimes they will run out of resources. So you see them have to go a little slower than some other teams like RNC, who they always have like a huge amount of resources behind them. You see when they go into a base.
Yeah, RNC, they're correct. Well. Oh, hello. Well. It was coming. They got a couple of clutch doors and eventually the beds are going to get blown. Making it easier to raid. I think, well, the TC in my eyes would only be on the outside, but I might be proven wrong as we start to progress further forward. I would imagine, though, we did see this once. One door was remaining in the entire base, and it took the players about 5 to 15 minutes to actually find that one door. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's another event like that happening right here, right now. And there is one door left on the bottom floor, which was really bugging me before. I don't know if they've got rid of it now. Because if it is behind that one door, then it would be kind of amusing if they leave it until last.
You know, just going back and I was with these guys when we raided a base and they decided to foundy wipe it. And I'm not even kidding you. The last square on the foundy wipe was the TC. Not even kidding. That was so painful. But again, you know, you never know. And that's the one good thing. When you bring a builder into your team, so they have Liam, for instance, Liam knows these builds. He's going to look at the base and he's going to use his best judgment in saying, okay, I'm a builder. Where would this be? Not always right, but it really does give your team advantage.
Yeah, it does. Liam here looking through the doors. Oh, a bomb coming to his left and right. And above him as well. And a lot of C4 going off. Oh, and absolute murder there as well. Now more beds to be taken, less spawn points to be used, and it seems like VVV are taking the situation well. They're controlling this, but I do think the outside where it'll be. I wonder what's going on outside right now on the outskirts of the base. If the doors are all taken or not, I'm interested to see that. Ooh, maybe it's in one of these.
We're really betting on this TC is going to be close. That's why we're kind of watching. We're trying to, like, you know, bated breath, trying to wait and see. Did they got it? Did they got it? Our cameraman is banking on it because he really wants to, you know, I think there's a secret, you know, scoreboard. They all compare. Did I get the TC view? Did I?
Well, it seems to be a competition. It's very competitive now. I know Ian's competitive about it anyway, so he'll be looking to get it. He thinks it's behind the pumpkin. But it's not behind the pumpkin. It's another door. And now there's more doors. Oh, wow. It's opened a whole window opportunity there with all the doors. So,
there's still this base. There's a lot of options. So, I mean, they, you know, they're not, I want to say they're not even half done yet.
Yeah, they're not, to be fair. And they need to realise that sooner rather than later. HV now looking to come from the bottom and raise their way to the top. It's like the Last Samurai, really, this. Don't know whether he's been watching what's happened to his teammates. Hopefully he doesn't get killed in the same way. Probably looking just to kill people off. And maybe sometimes where the players position themselves and start to release where the TC is alone.
You know, HV versus being outside in the open and coming in from a distance and pushing, they really showed that they had some strength. They don't look like that in their own base. They have the advantage here. Although it does look like VVV has control of the upper, which I talked about, the shooting floor and whatnot. But still, it's their respawn points, their kids, like they have the advantage here, and they're not really stopping VVV from doing what they want. They pretty much, VVV controls their base right now.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they haven't found the TC yet, though, so they might be getting pretty worried about that. We're coming into the last 15 minutes quite soon. That door's still there. It is still there. Please, for the love of God, take the door. If it's behind that door, I swear. Come on. Where are they? I think it might be, you know. I think it might be that door. If you think that player there is taking a stance to try and defend the bottom floor, why would he do that if the TC's not on the bottom floor? Speculation.
I mean, it could very well be. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, we have wooden doors going on. When all else fails, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're sealing. So if it's a wooden door, so be it.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what door it is. Wood, plastic, scrap metal, whatever it may be. It's still a door at the end of the day. Just weaker than the rest. What is going on? Why are they bothering with... Can they just take the TC? They're taking so long. Wow, I am still amazed at what's happening. It seems like VVV have been thrown out the base, and the only thing keeping between it is a wooden door.
They are really struggling to figure out where this TC is. Very much struggling. And again, That's what I'm telling you. When you get lower in resources, they don't have the C4, it seems. You don't hear those beeps going off. You see the consequences of them not having enough to just kind of, pound through the base.
Yeah, they just took that bloody door. That's why lots. Oh, Santa is still going. The ship, though, well and truly sunk. Belagi have been taken by Leons. Interesting. Those two teams were both trying to fight with the same base, and eventually Leons were like, yeah, no, piss off, we're taking you. And Belagi, we didn't actually see them get raided at all. We didn't see their base get touched, and Leons were the first to go there and cause some problems.
So we haven't seen Santa in a long time. Not sure where they are. They might have pulled up anchor and sailed away in another, maybe the rescue boat. I have no idea. But this cruise ship is doing a great job at defending itself right now. Fresh is still stuck in, it looks like, trying to find that TC. Getting a little bit, who do we have here? Nurik still, they're kind of sniffing around. They're just causing them a little bit of trouble. Really, we've seen a couple of them before we left fall on the shooting floor, which really hurts because then they got to push in, ladder up again, and so on and so forth. But yeah, you don't hear the booms going off either. So did these guys run out of resources? Did the cruise ship take everything from them? It might be.
I'm surprised it's still going, to be fair. There's only a couple of places left to search, and again, these teams do annoy me sometimes. Just take out the last 3 doors. Or 4. Actually, there's quite a few left, isn't there? There's a couple of dotted about. And that's the thing. When teams don't take those doors, it leaves us casters just drooling to see where it actually is, which door is behind. When the players stop, our fun stops.
Well, we're coming so close, very close to that time. We're going to be able to show you some insides of these bases. We are on a huge delay in order to maintain the integrity of the event so that nobody can be watching the stream and pass inside information and so on and so forth. So in the next couple minutes, our cameraman's going to be able to go in and sniff this out. We're going to be the absolute raiders. Okay, I lied. We're not allowed to do that anymore at all. So forget everything I said and we'll carry on. Enjoy your cruise.
Nah, it does seem like Fresh are going to take out the remaining doors, though, for my own sanity. And eventually, I assume the only next thing for them is to find the TC, which I think would be refreshing for them. They haven't been doing a lot other than this raid for a while. Oh, Santa were taken by Fresh as well. Oh, they were taken by Fresh. What? Hey?
So we hear the boom start again, and they quickly got the TC. We're not 100% sure where, but it was somewhere around here in the middle, we think. But, alas, the battleship has been sunk.
Has been. Well, there goes Santa. Another team bites the dust. Fresh get a lead now of 150 points. They've pretty much taken it unless RNC want to come and cause some problems. And is this raid still going on?
So our cameraman is eager to go find out if that door is still standing. Both our caster and our cameraman. Personally, I'm sitting on the side going, oh, the door stays. It kind of bothers her. But that's fine. I'm, here for the fun. And it's there. Oh, dear.
Shoot it down! Take it down. There's one door left on the bottom floor, and I'm eager to find out if that is the door. Where is it? Where? Oh wait, is there one door on the bottom floor? Yeah, there is. It's there. It's right next to the wooden door.
Well, in all fairness, Pet, we have multiple wooden doors, not just one, okay? So, oh, I hear some sheet metal doors going back on. They're sealing up. Where are they sealing? That could be a good indication as to what's going on, actually, the doors they're putting back on. They're going to want to protect the door that is the TC. So I think it was up higher. It sounded like it was up higher here, so it very well could be up on this floor.
Still, yeah, the top floor's got a lot of doors, but it doesn't take my mind off the fact the bottom floor's just still got a single door. And that's going to bug me until the end, until they take it, to be honest. But it'd be disappointing if they don't get this raid, because they were all over it at one point, and they just sort of, well, died. They just disappeared. All the hope and dreams were lost, and they didn't get any more shots, and look where it took them.
Yeah, they have been stuck in this base a while now. VVV not able to find that TC. You can see all the resources that were put into this base. Looking around, except for that one door, that beautiful door. I love that door. Anyway. We have Fresh with 516 points and 8 minutes left to go. I'm very interested what's going on at their base. I'm very interested if somebody's going to raid it because that's the only way anyone else is going to win that event today. There is no possible other way for any of these top teams to even catch them at this point.
Yeah, that would be interesting. This base over here has not got anybody in. No one's home. That's Clear's base. Clear on top of somebody else's base, it seems. Or trying to be. Clear sat in 5th. A raid would take them to 4th. But again, not much of an advancement in the placements. Only 1. But I wonder where the base actually is for Fresh.
Here we have Bob and Messi. Messi seems to be defending against, or Bob. Did I place this wrong? I want to say Bob's attacking. I want to say. Bob holding gas station, you know, taking on Messi, you know, some of the best teams in the world in Rust control gas station. No joke. You have Bob Sicko. He seems to be staying home, making sure the base is okay while these guys do some work. It really doesn't look like a whole lot going on here.
No, it doesn't. You're right. And Bob's going to be realising, you know, there's only 6 minutes to go. We haven't really got a shout at winning the events. Let's just go out for it and try and get some more raids, try and get some more kills, see how high we can finish. Oh, here's a heli. Wonder where we're getting taken with that one.
So we're at a render there. You can't really see it, but they were obviously, that Scrappy was going in somewhere and then quick turn. It could be our friends. It could be our Luon's friends. The way that guy's driving, I wouldn't be shocked if it's... It is. It is. How did I know? How did I know? So here's Fresh. This is going to be the fight. The next 6 minutes is going to be focused here. And how many teams pull up? That's the biggest question. Right now, RNC's on the outside. Leon's came in. Clear, you see a Clear member on the backside. This is what needs to happen for anyone else to win. So Mango and his team have a lot to do in the next 6 minutes.
HV finally eliminated by VV. But you know, Leon's trying again to get onto the roof.
Hold on, we're about to see some...
More likely to go into a tree behind.
We're going to see some amazing flying skills. Like, we just need to watch here in awe.
They're just sitting duck in the air. What are they doing? What are you doing? Why are you standing still for? You're going down. Woo! The driver's lost all hope now. He's gone, yeah, okay, we're just going to be like a drone.
I think he forgot how to go forward. I really think he forgot. It's the W key. I'm not a good flyer, but that does help.
It's difference between not a good flyer and just not a flyer at all. He's not moving the bloody helicopter. It's just stuck.
Oh, H-feed! Oh, and that made him move. That was the... Just missed. Look at that. So close. And you know... Oh, it is hard. It is hard to HV a moving heli. Oh, and they're going down. Too much damage and they're now going down. Let's see what happens. And yes, that again. The pilot today, I mean, I would question his license, and their insurance rates must be through the roof at this point. Like, that's a lot of Scrappy.
Having him in the pilot seat's never a good idea. He wouldn't be ideal for a prison escape. So, good to see that he wasn't. But, you know, I just don't see this happening unless RNC catch a bit of luck here and find the right room. I mean, there's enough boom coming in, but they need to find the TC for them has to be on that side, which it doesn't seem like it would be. If it was on that side, I think that Fresh would be a bit more bothered.
No, Fresh has really gotten under their base. They've taken this to the ground. They feel that's where their strong point is. They're weaving through these walls. We have Dodge in there, RNC's in there. Dodge quickly eliminated. Clear's coming on the other side. It's going to be a battle. Is anyone else going to pull up in the next 3 minutes? We'll wait and see.
It's not time though, is it? As I said, if we go in with 30 minutes, they've given themselves a little bit of time. But they're going in with 3 minutes. It's not enough time to make a raid. Not on one of these bases, unless you get lucky. And it's good. It's good to try your luck. But yeah, I do feel like if Fresh were hiding the TC on that wall, they would not just be letting it get taken down the way it is at the moment. They would do something about it. So that should be an indication to the players. If they're not defending this, then it's not on that wall. Move on.
Possibly. I mean, Fresh is another team. They have a seasoned builder in there, one of the big builders in this group. You can see by looking at it. You look at this base and you know there's a lot of options, a lot of places it could be. They also know their strong points. These guys know how to PvP. So taking it to the ground and really shutting them down. They gotta, they don't have a respawn point, these challengers. They really are, they know what they're doing when it comes to these base invaders. And that guy, wow, that guy ate a lot of bullets in the face. Yeah.
Yeah, Fresh though, unless by miracle they aren't going anywhere. RNC are trying to do their best to get into the base, but too little, too late here for them. Leons couldn't successfully go onto the roof either. They went down. So yeah, this just seems like a bit of a simple, easy finish for Fresh. It's not gonna take place.
I never counted out. You never know. Like, it seems like, and you're most likely right, that they have it in the bag. But again, all it takes is for one lucky team on one side to run in and get that TC, even if it's on the outside, like the first couple walls. There's 2 minutes left. Very unlikely, but it is possible.
Yeah, it is. Another kill looking to come in there. Orange pick out again. Clear though, are the ones getting the kills. Eventually does get killed himself. But if the event finishes the way it's gone at the moment, VVV will sneak into second and steal that spot off RNC. But RNC are really determined to find this TC in the last minute and a half. But they aren't doing enough at the moment to find that TC. They need to start blowing through things. They need to start causing damage, otherwise, game over.
I mean, Fresh is dead right now. If you look around, there's a lot of dead Fresh bodies. RNC just going through here. Like, everyone's just going to chuck everything they can into this, just, raid and pray.
Yeah, that is true. And the door's been taken down. They're looking to go in. 54 seconds. Unless they know where it is at this point, they aren't getting it. Unfortunate.
We got VVV still making more huge kill streaks right up into the end. 15 kill streak, 8 kill streak, 30 seconds left. Again, Fresh has had a great base invaders. They have led most of the raid phase. Ton of TCs taken. There was a lot of bases raided today. It would be interesting to see the stat.
Yeah. Again, I just don't know. I said it. If they'd done it earlier, and they wouldn't have left this until the last minute to go and attack, maybe it would have been a different story. But there you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Fresh held it out in the last 10 minutes, and they are your victors today.
Fresh had done a great job. They right from the start of the event, Mango and his team, they had full control. The statistics, if we look at them, 3 raids complete, 2 defenses, 406 kills. That is amazing. 406 kills. 255 deaths. They really did. And if you look at the team spread, 84 kills, this team just had a really good base invaders today.
Yeah, they did. They did a very, very good game. VVV, they were there. They were second. They came second very late on, actually. Didn't take it straight away. The kills though that they had was the real deal though. 333 kills. What a killing performance from them. One player having 100 all to himself.
Okay, now we have VVV. VVV, again, you know, you're always going to see them at the top, usually in this events, very rarely unless they're eliminated. They had a very good day despite being stuck in. HV really did slow them down for part of the day. Hopefully that wasn't intentional. Hopefully they were just playing base evaders like we want everyone to. They did you know, complete one raid. They had 2 defenses. The kills 333, a little bit lower than Fresh. Again, Fresh had a great day today. And if you look at those stats, like that's amazing.
It is, yeah. RNC though, here they are again. 309 kills for RNC. 2 raids completed. Another strong performance. They just couldn't finish it off at the end though and take out Fresh. They left it too little, too late. Otherwise, it could have been a different story.
Okay, we have Bob here. Bob, again, you know, it was funny because we didn't see a lot of them, but when we did see them, they were doing a lot of work. So, it's the raids complete. We have 2. The raid defenses, we have 2. Total kills 213. That is not a bad showing by any means. So, you know, good day for Bob as well.
Yeah, they were very, very good at raid, and they just didn't get enough of them. Only 1 raid completed, 2 raid defenses, 225 kills though. Very, very good. Gone positive on the KD with 168 deaths. You know, that's a team that, you know, we could have seen more from, could have expected a lot more from, but they just couldn't provide it today.
Yeah, clear again. You know, they didn't get the points out of this that they're used to. You know, you usually see them with a little more points. They were busy though. We've seen them in a lot of places. They never stood still. They never stuck in at home. They, you know, they did well, even though you don't see it in the points. And I mean, you know, they have Purple and Jamesy. They can only do so much with what they got, but it's good. It's
Yeah. But anyway, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that will be the roundup for the EU 6-man event. Obviously, we are back in just around 2 hours' time for the NA event this evening, 6-man again. I will be there with a different caster. Unfortunately, Kelly has to leave. But well, thank you all for watching this one. Thank you all for being in the chat. Thank you all for making this a lovely event to cast over. Thank you to all the players for making a really good show for us all. Thanks to Ian, obviously behind with the observing and the production today. And obviously thank you, Kailey, for being aside me in the booth. But for now, everybody, we will see you later for the next one. Have fun, and we'll see you soon.